renewed?
No, I had another year on my contract after, and I phoned Emil Francis from Winnipeg. I just can't do it anymore. And at that time, he didn't try to make trades. Winnipeg Jets had started the old WHA, and Teddy Green had called, and Joe Daly, and said, Teddy, how about meeting? And I met with the Jets at that time. It was Rudy Pillis and Hillman, and it just wasn't right. And then Glenn Sather phoned from Edmonton. I met with them. But my mom, growing up in Strathcona Street, if you said you ever played in the World Hockey Association, I'll disown you, because there was only one league, and that was the National Hockey League. It's just, plus I couldn't have you playing hockey in this city. I couldn't handle the yelling, the screaming. And so I knew at that time, the WHA was great and the guys were good, but I just felt I didn't have the spark in St. Louis. I went to one game with the Jets. I thought if they played against Detroit, I thought, I'll just see if I can feel something here. And they had some good hockey clubs. And Greeny called me, and I said, I just can't do it, Teddy. And so a lot of former guys from the Bombers said you should stay 1 year in Winnipeg, and I just didn't have it anymore. I just didn't have the spark. I played a role. I was living like a guy making $100,000 a year, and I went to Great West Life, and they said, how much you want to make this year? I said, $40,000, and they said, no problem. Well, I didn't make that for years, and I had a real transition of still being a hockey player, but being in the business world, and I didn't handle it well enough. I played golf out of St. Charles, and I drove the Cadillac, but I wasn't making any money, and I was still living the hockey player's life, and going back to alumni stuff, and I just I fell behind. I knew education-wise, I just didn't have what everybody else was, but I was still being taught. I was still being treated like an NHLer. Still doing banquets and going down to New York for alumni stuff. And 2 or 3 years later, it started to fall in on me that I'm not handling this very well. I remember Mike Smith, the old general manager for the Jets, did a book on a transition. So I went through a transition. It took me almost 10, 12, 15 years before I realized it's over. I did a lot of public speaking with the Winners Foundation, Drug and Alcohol Abuse, with the doctors, Dr. Jerry Wilson, Dr. Bill Jasek, going to junior teams and talking to guys. And it was still in me that I was an athlete, and I hadn't let go. So it took me a while to recognize, hey, it's over with. And so the transition, I didn't handle it as well as I should have. I scouted for the first couple of years. Emil Francis was very kind to me, let me scout for St. Louis. But even going to the games there, I didn't know a hockey player from a hockey puck. And I always remember phoning Tommy Thompson Winnipeg, said, who have you been scouting? He said, what? He says, I scout for a team. I said, give me some names so I want to go to the meetings, at least I can talk about somebody. I couldn't tell. And I coached 1 year junior hockey. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And no, I never had that ability to scout or to pick players. And a lot of guys stayed in it. I didn't. I had the opportunities, but I just, my last year in St. Louis, my son was in Boy Scouts. We went for dinner with the parents. And I remember after the dinner at the parents, talking about business and stock market and real estate and trucking. And if they didn't ask me what Elias stick I used, or what position I played, I had nothing to add to the conversation. And that made me so distraught when I went home. I said, I got nothing to offer anybody, And that's what made me change. I was lucky at Great West Life. A couple of guys got hold of me, got me reading, and that helped me out a lot.